Hello, 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 hello. Good evening. Welcome to my channel, The Underrated Darkness. Yours truly, the number one grinder, one of the best kept secrets on YouTube, the best of the business. I got another chop up tonight, back to back. Shout out to Brother Alonzo. I did him last night. Now we got the one and only, the educator for our community, good brother Rob. And shout out to Coco Tina. Shout out to Sunny Boxing Talk. All right, this is going down. So let me read this out. Come enjoy real conversation with the number one grinder, us as the righteous ones, individuals. Let's make a change within ourselves. Genuinely being there for each other. We all we got. Just remember that, y'all. We all we got. Again, welcome Sister Coco Tina. Welcome, Brother Sonny Boss Talk, and the one and only good brother Rob. I'm going to hit y'all on what's the intro I'm gonna use tonight. I'm gonna use a good intro. I'm trying to think educational, y'all. I'm gonna do educational, y'all. You know what? My man, brother Rob, he gonna appreciate this. So I'm hitting with this one.
Welcome to my channel, The Underrated Darkness. Yours truly, the underrated one, the number one grinder, the best kept secret in YouTube.
All right, welcome. Again, welcome to my channel, The Underrated Darkness. Yours truly, the number one grind, one of the best kept secrets on YouTube. We got another one, the one and only good brother Rob. You can unmute your mic and introduce you to the people, introduce to the family.
Yes, sir. What's going down, JT, man? What's happening? And peace to the family and anybody that's listening or might be coming on later on. Man, what's happening?
I'm fine. Finally, I got you, but finally, I got
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
you.
You got me. My bad, man. I wish I could have been. My bad. I wasn't earlier like you had asked, man. I wasn't looking at my messages. I'm like, damn. All right, but I'm here
But
though.
you here though. You here
Yes,
though.
sir. Yes, sir.
You here though. You here. So before this is one of the few choppers. I'm gonna give you an introduction. I usually don't get introductions. I met this brother a long time years ago. Um, we always used to we bonded and we have our little disagreements, but we always been brothers. And he's one of the few brothers besides Sonny and Chief Stacy has kept in contact with me throughout the years outside social media. Always make sure it's all right. And he always gave me encouragement, to pursue whatever positivity it is. And I just want to say again, thank you so much to be there, and I appreciate that. So peace to you and your family and stuff. And it's got Sonny Boston talking this piece. Oh, we here. She usually go to sleep at this time, but he see you coming. He see you coming, so he say he got to show us. So that is good. And then we got Coco Tina in here, and also Brother Rob. Ask questions about me now because it's been a while.
Yeah. It has, man. It has. You got intro graphics and everything now, man. Yeah, my man.
I try to do a little something, man. I try to do a little something.
Yeah, I love it, bro. I see the growth, you know what I'm saying? Like you was showing the pictures with the equipment that you done acquired over the years and all of that. So man, super proud of what you done did with your platform, bro. And yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? I know it's a chop up. So shit, I get started. How about that?
All right, let's do this and everything.
Yeah. Man, I see that you didn't kind of switch things up on the intro. What's some other things that I should be looking forward to, like or other people should be looking forward to?
Well, to tell the truth, it's a surprise. It really is. I got lofty goals, but it's all about building up my brand and expanding it. You know, I want to expand it to other sectors, not in social media, but other sectors outside social media. You know, things I always wanted to do, and so it's one I can say this. I'm working on getting some merch, working on my own merch.
My own merch, I see.
So I'm working on that. So it takes money, and so I'm working on that. But the other stuff I can't say. I just gotta come see it. But I could say it's gonna be a game changer. I could tell you that much.
All right.
It's going to be a game changer. It's gonna be like people like, what? Yeah. So I'm looking forward for that and everything. And I really is and everything. And let me ask you a question. Parents, is your parents still living?
Yeah. I'm still blessed to have my mom and my dad. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. How many years they been married?
Oh man, that's a really good question, dog. Man, like 50 plus, man. I don't know the exact. Yeah, but I know 50 plus though. You know what I'm saying?
That's a blessing right there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's a blessing. And how long that you and the other beautiful have been married and you have kids?
Oh yeah. Me and my wifey, man, been married 20 plus years, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then we got two sons together. You know what I'm saying? I don't have any kids outside of her, you know what I'm saying? That was my high school sweetheart. You know what I mean? I met her in high school in chemistry class, if you can believe it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And we've been together ever since. So very, very blessed, lucky, however you want to say it, to had felt my, so-called unicorn when I was young. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. That's all right. That's all right. And what's the ages of your children?
My oldest is 25, and my youngest is 21. Yeah, man.
Wow.
Yeah, he gonna be coming out of college in the spring, so I'm super proud of that dude. You know what I'm saying?
That's good. That's good because it's hard to get, especially us as young black boys, and to finish college. You know what I'm talking about, brother Rob.
Man. Oh yeah.
So it's always an uphill climb. And I just want to let you let me explain to this. Let me explain before I continue. Brother Rob is an educator. One time he was head of the dean of I think a high school, and he went back. So his work. So he went back to the classroom and stuff. And I want to ask you, why it's so important that a black man how I do it? Because I let me see. I write down everything. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, why is so important that when a black man as yourself that into educational system, right? That they become a dean. Why is so important that a black man should be a dean in the school? That very rarely that we hear or talk about.
Yeah. I appreciate the question. Um, I started off as a mentor and a coach. And so
Mm.
I got elevated to becoming an assistant dean. They noticed the way that the students responded and respected me. And so, if I would ask a kid, hey, calm down, it ain't worth it. Nah, y'all not about to fight, come to school on time, stuff like that. When they noticed that the kids were responding to me, um,
Mhm.
and then just my work ethic and just my results from my mentees, I got elevated to becoming an assistant dean, right?
Mm.
And so I was at that school for a number of years, and it had came a time when I felt like I needed to leave, and so when I left, I
Mhm.
the next position that I took was a dean, and so
Wow.
yeah, I was a dean uh, at another school downtown Chicago, and
Mhm.
that school has some challenges. Let's just say that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah.
Got there- when I got there, they had some challenges, and them young people they just needed somebody to motivate them to get on the right track. You know what I'm saying? I think it's very important that young people have an example of somebody. The other part of the question, um, a black man, the example is somebody who carry himself, right? Like
Mhm.
somebody that needs to be respected. I didn't want them to respect me because I was the dean. I wanted them to respect me because I showed up to work on time, right?
Mhm.
Because I knew your name. I knew something about you. You
Mhm.
know, I got thousands of kids that I'm responsible for. I knew all their names. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I knew something personal about them. You know what I'm saying? And then at the same time, I was coaching. So they seen how hard I was working. You know what I mean? And so I'm in an authoritative position, right? I got a title, and then plus I work hard, right?
Mhm.
So modeling the behavior that we expect for our kids to have, that cannot go, you know, overlooked. If
Mhm.
you want your kids to listen, you want kids to listen to you, model the behavior you want them to have.
Mhm.
Meaning you gotta listen to them. You see?
Mhm.
But as the dean, I noticed that like if I had teachers out, I couldn't get a sub, right? Then I would be the one that would be subbing the class, right? Or like when Black History Month came, my input on certain topics and stuff like that, it made it overwhelmingly obvious that I should be in somebody's classroom teaching. And
Mhm.
uh I just wasn't gonna get an opportunity to teach at the school that I was at. We had really good teachers in every
Mhm.
position. So I applied and got the teacher position at the school that I'm at now. And so go the story, and I, got
Mhm.
into the classroom, and man, bro, I done fell in love again. You know what I'm saying? On the real, I
Yeah.
really love what I do, you know?
Yeah. That's all right. That's all right. Now, I remember you was telling me this like a few years ago when you would make the transition to the dean and back to the classroom.
Uh-huh.
And really, the question is, why the time was right when you make that transition back to the classroom? Because he being a dean, that means you gotta make sure everything, the administration, everything. So you walk the whole, you know what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
you do most like administration work, in the school, and also be a mentor and everything. But I know that like, I remember you were telling me this. I'm not gonna tell y'all the whole conversation because I'm not. I want
Yeah,
this to
that'll
keep
be
to
super
myself.
long.
Right. I'm gonna keep that to myself.
Right.
But my question is, of that moment, why you make that switch back to the classroom?
Yeah. Um, it was really, man, if you know, to make the answer short and sweet, I would
Mm-hmm.
say that it's impact, bro. I was
Mm.
looking to have more of an impact. And and I mean that's the simple answer. Um I'm very familiar with history, right? I used to
Yeah.
be a personal banker, I used to be a mortgage broker, right? And then
Uh-huh.
plus I have a passion for black history. So that's what made it, kind of easy for me to, become a US history teacher, to become a consumer ed teacher, Pan African studies teacher. It made it easy. The transition was easy. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, um, I could have kept I could have kept being the dean and all of that, but
Mm-hmm.
my impact wasn't direct, it was indirect. So it's direct now that I'm in the classroom, you know what I mean?
Got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Now you enter back, to the classroom. Can you tell me what you teach? And I want you to give your definition of each major that you teach. Why it's important. And also, I want you to do me a favor again, the last one, please.
Yeah, it's called Pan African Studies. So
Yeah,
it's the study of African people all over the world, basically. Hmm. And
that's it.
so
Okay.
I teach U.S. history. That is a requirement for graduation in the state of Illinois. You have to have at least one credit in U.S. history, right? And then the Constitution, getting students ready for the Constitution. So that's one aspect of it, right? And that's the first class I teach, U.S. history. Man, y'all know that I ain't up in there teaching George Washington and Thomas Jefferson. Y'all know that, right?
No, you ain't that. No,
Right.
you know you're not.
So
No, you're
like
not.
I teach U.S. history through Black history, right? Because there is no U.S. history without Black history. Now I can take that, super deep. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, um, I'm teaching our kids about not only uh, how the country was founded, but why it was founded. Who were the
Mhm.
people who profited from this, right? And what was their motivations and things of that nature. So U.S. history to me, it gives our students the why, right? Say for instance, you want to become a business owner, right? Why your business is important to the community through U.S. history. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Then the second class I teach is called consumer education or consumer economics. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And in that class, I am not teaching those kids how to become better consumers. You know what I'm saying? What I
Right.
what I teach is money management. These are the core things that I teach. Money management, personal money management, how to make sure your credit is good. Coming back from Christmas break, what we're about to go over now is picking a career field, you know, the basics on starting a business, how to be able to purchase your first home by the age of 25, why ownership in the black community is important. And then finally, if the school year permit, I'll be teaching them how to prepare their own taxes, right? So in consumer ed, in my class, those are the things that you learn. But again, it is the why, right? Why do you need to manage your money? Why do you need to get into a career that you passionate about? Why? Right? And I mean, and I explain it, of course, in great detail in my
Right.
class. But at the end of the day, I'm teaching Black Power economics and consumer ed. That's what I'm teaching, bro. You know,
Yes.
and then finally, Pan African Studies. You know, in this class, I'm really unteaching a lot of things that they didn't probably learn. You see, you know, we got people on YouTube and out in the greater Black community, right? They be calling people Hotep brothers, and you know why y'all wear them funny hats and all of this kind of, so I have to teach them. Number one, you can't overlook or understate Black history in any sense of the word. You know what I'm saying? Us being Black or us being African, it's not a question. You know what I'm saying? The question is, uh, you know, how do you relate to that history? Really, it's your political understanding of where you are in the world, right? You being
Right.
an African American and how that relates politically, economically, socially to the rest of the world. So I
Mhm.
got many different ways I can take that class. We started the school year off basically talking about thinking, right? And what I try to teach them is how to perform that. These are the things that I was teaching the first semester, you know, thinking
Mhm.
about thinking, how to perform proper research. We would have misinformation Monday, where, like, anything that you heard about Black people that you think is questionable. Here, let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Then we got the mysteries of melanin. We talked about melanin, what makes us different. Um,
Uh-huh.
and then we talked about ancient Kemet, you know what I'm saying, and how it's the highest civilization, the world has ever seen. And, it's a lot of things that people can learn if they would study ancient Kemet, and
Right.
that's ended off the semester. So, going back, we're going to be looking at the master teachers. We're going to be looking at the people who started Pan African thought, Henry Sylvester Williams, Martin Delaney, people like that, so that they can understand, Black political thought and how it was started and who are the master teachers. You know what I'm saying? People
Mhm.
on YouTube be calling themselves master teachers. No, no. We got
No,
plenty of people that we can point to for that. You
no,
know what I'm saying? So
no.
I know that
You're
was
a teacher.
long-winded,
I
but
say you're a teacher.
yeah. But I know that's
You're an
long-winded.
educator. I
Yeah,
call you educator.
yeah. I felt like I was in class, G. Like, let me stop lecturing for a fucking second.
No, it's good. I think it's good because let me tell people that me and Rob used to have these discussions about Black history and other stuff. Why in this space is always be misinformed.
Yeah,
So my and I'm trying to like bring some truth to it, so people will understand that being Black, you gotta be half political. You know what I'm saying? And I know that I'm not trying to get off the subject, but these two political parties that we talk about, Bronny Ellie, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. And they not for our interest. And I remember you was talking about that what we need to do, we need to put our differences aside and be political, because that's what we always been political. We
mm,
always been an advocate for our rights anyway, even back slavery and stuff. And I think that the advocacy, I'm talking about for me, it always stays with me because I was raised a Jehovah's Witness, yes. But
mm,
also I knew the Black Panther Party too.
mhm,
So right there when I was 5, I knew I had that concept and stuff, and it stays with me. and stuff like that. So that is very, very important that you bring that up. That the accuracy of a Pan African that is solely we don't talk about. We always talk about the information. We don't talk about the document. We always talk about we need to act, but we don't talk about the accuracy of it. And I'm glad that you bring that up.
Yeah, I think it's important though, and I feel like this was the most important thing that I taught in that Pan African Studies class: how to perform proper research. See, you like people say all kind of stuff, and then they'll say I researched it. Yeah, sometimes people perform confirmation bias research. They look into somehow prove their point in the research. That's not how you do it. That's not how it's done. You got to go find your primary sources, then you find your secondary sources that back up your primary sources. You see, and you got to consider who is writing it, why are they writing it, what audience are they writing it for. You know, all of these things are important when you're doing research so that you can have a proper understanding of what it is. Because I mean, we got a lot of people out here that be saying a lot of things, brother, that they can't prove. You know what I'm saying? And so I do my best to make sure that our kids understand, like, it's a way to find out who telling the truth. Here, everybody point of view ain't good. Here, let's find out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I call, and you know, as you know, Rob, I call them the ones who fake the funk. I call them parasite scholars.
Man, just sitting around waiting to disagree with you. They don't have nothing to prove, fam. They ain't teaching you nothing. They just disagreeing with whatever it is you say. Man, a parasite. That hit it on the head.
I call them parasite. I coined that years ago. As you know, I coined that years ago. I call them parasite scholars. You full of evil parasite. You don't want to get it out. It's like, for me, I said, for me, they just in their own way. This is what it is and everything. I feel that when you have history, history's supposed to motivate you spiritually, culturally, emotionally, all above. Supposed to motivate you. I'm talking about our culture to do better. But we find a lot of parasite scholars, as you know, throughout the years as an educator. I'm talking about what I see. It's not telling the truth. They're out here pimping the culture. They are pimping our ancestors. They pimping our people that had credentials to teach us Pan-African, to teach us our history, our scholars. And you notice that on social media, especially on I'm gonna say YouTube and Facebook, because that's what we are right now. They don't know what they talk. It's like I look at them like, what? What do you mean no such thing slavery? What do you mean no such thing no Kemet? What are you talking about? What do you mean whoa? You mean ain't no such thing black cowboys? What do you mean about that? What do you mean that we didn't discover hockey? Yeah, we discovered hockey, yo. So what are you talking about? Ain't no Africans around the world. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you still do your little history series, right?
Off and on though. I found you might you give me some juice to do it back. Yeah, that see, people don't even know I used to do history too.
Yeah, history, boxing, all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so that was something I wanted to ask you. You know, of course I don't get a chance to be like on your show like live all of the time, right?
Yeah.
Like what types of things have changed on the platform to where, like, you know, I wouldn't be shocked if I came over here. What changes would you say you'd have made?
Heels in, my brother. Thanks for coming, family. I think the change. Well, it's been a while. What happened was YouTube was messing with me, so I lost this channel temporarily. So I had to create a secondary channel, the number one grinder, real talk, to keep it pushing. But I feel was the change for me. I got to get back being versatile, but at the same time to stay true to myself. So there are certain things that I left behind. I did, and so as you know, I always do series and stuff. So I'm um I'm I'm going back to my channel maybe like next month and probably go back and finish up those them series I had because people don't know I had late night history. That's what Brother Rob was talking about. I had late night history too. That I was doing after 12 o'clock or sometimes some to 12. And when I just bring out whatever it is that we need to talk about too. Most times that series is like really I did it by myself. I did it off the phone too. So that's what I'm thinking about bring that back, Brother Rob. Put a twist on it also, But some of those I'm gonna preview too to let people know that that is very important.
No doubt.
And
Hey,
history. Yeah.
it was something I put in the private chat. You know what I'm saying? And
Okay.
it's a study that was done in 2017 that states that when you teach black children at an early age racial pride, they tend to do better in school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so if you want to post the link to the study, you can. But
You can post it in the
man,
chat.
it's in the private chat. It's in
The private chat.
on
I'm
stream.
saying if you want to, you could post that in the regular chat too.
Okay. It just
Yeah.
I'm not a mod, so I can't
Oh, yes, you are.
no, I'm not a mod.
All right, all
But
right, all right. No. But
yeah, I put it up there maybe one
put
of
your
the
name. No. Put your name in the regular chat now, so I can make you
uh,
mine.
yeah. I just say that sometimes people they hear black teachers talking about black history. Man, our kids they need to learn some coding. They
Yeah.
need to learn this. They need to learn that. Yeah,
Yeah.
all of that is true. All of that is true. But at the same time, fam, you gotta understand. You gotta have some foundational thoughts, some something for them to build off of, right?
Uh-huh.
You want them to be an engineer. Teach them about George Washington Carver. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You want to teach them to be botanists and chemists, and you know teach them about Lewis Latimer. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things that fundamentally we don't do right. That if we did, our kids would benefit greatly. While we sitting around debating, they watching us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
we gotta be clear about what it is that we teaching them. You know?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. You type something in the chat right now because you should be blue.
Okay.
Type something in the chat right
Let
now,
me
and then
flip
if
back over here.
come up blue, just post that so people can have that too. And
All right, I see now. All right, so I'm about to post the link to the study now.
yeah, exactly. And
Boom.
my
So
brother,
there go the link
there
to
you
the
go.
study, y'all.
There you
Because
go.
yeah, man, where your sources at?
Yeah,
Oh man, you people. I mean, now I done got to the point where if I mention something on YouTube, I literally provide the source because I know that that's about to be the next question. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I know that's about to be the next question.
Okay. Now another question is, brother Rob, ever since the last time we talked today, what you been up to?
Oh man, bro. Man, what haven't I been up to? Well, of course, 10 months out the year, I ain't gonna even lie to you, bro. I be completely sold out to making sure that I'm doing my job. It is all consuming. So I didn't mention everything that I do, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I'm a teacher, you know what I'm saying? And I teach those three classes, US history, consumer ed, and Pan African studies. And then after school, right? After school, I run our I'm the head basketball coach there. So
Mm.
if people can understand, if you ever coach before, you know how much time that take. You know what I'm saying? It's just forget winning and losing, just the amount of time that coaches got to put in for it to just run right, right? And
Yeah.
then also, um, we call it Titans TV, right? So they got a little podcast that they do, and I help them with you know, content and format and stuff like that. But it's all student driven. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
like, I got it posted in my class, right? Speak right and think well. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't matter what I'm teaching you, those three things you have to be able to do. You have to be able to speak well, write well, think well, in no particular order. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
obviously, those are things that any student in any situation, if you can do those three things, you can get paid. You know?
Hmm. Yeah. There. Are you willing to take questions in a few minutes?
Oh yeah, man. I take all the questions that people
Okay.
feel
Yeah.
interested in
Yeah.
asking. You know what I'm
Yeah. I'm
saying?
gonna do it. Yeah. I'm gonna let you know. In the I said about another 5 minutes. Put your questions down. But let me. I'm gonna say this. If the questions is not appropriated, I'm not answering it. I'm not asking the question. So let's be very respectable, okay? Because I'm gonna screen it out. Sonny Box told coaches is like a whole job. It is.
Man, bro.
It is. It
Man,
is.
bro.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if people only knew that job is not, it's not easy. And no matter how much you love basketball or whatever sport you coaching, man, it is a whole. You got to be committed, or y'all gonna lose every game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or you might win every game, but all your players gonna be locked up or got kids or not graduating. Man, it's a lot that go into coaching, not just X's and O's. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
Okay.
the
I'm
other
sorry.
thing that I've been up to, you know what I'm saying? Man, that Camaro I've been telling you about, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, brother. Oh yeah, brother. I'm head on my way, man. Sunny boxing talk. The man told me over the phone how to set my welder. You know what I'm saying? And so
Right.
that kind of propelled me to be able to do a little bit more work on it. I mean, I'm still maybe about a year and a half away with finishing and everything. It's money, you know what I'm saying?
Uh huh.
But Sonny is the one that kind of gave me some pointers on how to set my welder and all of that and stuff, and gave me confidence. Like, man, you can do it, bro. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, shit, because I ain't never did no body work. You know what I'm saying? The
Right.
most I done ever did rebuilt the engine or some shit like that. I ain't never did no body work. So yeah, that's my little, you know, my little hobby around the crib that I keep myself busy working on, man. But yeah, I got an old school 67 Camaro I'm trying to restore, you know.
And you say it's gonna take you about a year, year and a half because of the money, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, these parts are not cheap, you know what I'm saying?
Got you.
Inflation. These parts are not cheap, folks. Yeah,
Yeah, I can understand that.
yeah.
And another question is too, as you being an educator for a long time, and I always want to talk to you about this because it's very dear to me. About I was looking around when I was coming up, right? I was in a special education community, but I found out, brother, there is less of us in special education teachers, less than ever than when I was coming up. Because when we see, as you know, I see a black man was a principal, but also a few that they had. For me, it was not enough. At least we see some, but by me looking around, do my own investigation, and why is a lack of us that is in special ed?
Man, I to be perfectly honest with you, um, that's a man. I really couldn't say exactly why. We
Okay.
need more. We need more black people in education,
Mhm.
and then the ones that's matriculating through are all black women. And so
Mhm.
it's a lot of with the passage of the No Child Left Behind Act.
Mhm.
It's a lot of legal mumbo jumbo that go along with special ed. It's tedious, you know what I'm saying? And I mean to the point where, like, if you don't log the right amount of hours, you could be in trouble. You know what I'm saying? With a student, like, he's supposed to get 100 hours of one-on-one time. You only log in 80 hours. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of legal mumbo jumbo that go along with special ed now. And so that might be, stopping people from going into it or whatever. I could
Mhm.
I couldn't say exactly why though. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I'm glad. I'm glad. I just want to ask you, get your perspective because you're educated and stuff.
Mhm.
Now, again, you can ask me any question you want that comes up. I want you to ask me questions. But there is another one. Why our schools is failing?
Oh man, uh, it's a number of things, man. I mean, to say why schools I feel, um, number one, we got to start when they super young. When they super young, I'm talking about pre-K, kindergarten, first, second, third grade. It must be a focus. It gotta be a focus. Um, and I feel like at those crucial ages, we don't make education important enough. Just like how remember when you was a shorty, y'all used to take naps,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then y'all used to have recess,
Yeah.
right? Hey, listen, man, that shit. You just like you remember that, you got to remember the first book you read. The first book you read all by yourself. The first math problem that you felt like you couldn't handle, and then the next thing you know, you can work it out without any help. We
Right.
got to make education super important when they're young. That's why schools are failing. If you think about a real simple analogy, right?
Right.
Right? Crooked trees, bro. Crooked trees. Let's say, for instance, a tree been growing crooked for 13 years, 14 years. You're not gonna straighten out a tree that been growing crooked for that long.
Right.
You see? So that's why our schools are failing. We got a bunch of crooked trees. By the time they in seventh grade, eighth grade, they crooked trees, bro.
Mm. I agree. I agree. And go more your point though. It's not dedicated there for a check.
Yeah.
And so there's the dedication is there. We get now says, welcome to my channel, the underrated darkness. Yours truly, no one grinder. We are chopping up the one and only. We thank him, good brother Rob, the educator. He been in our community for a long time. So let's show respect to the brother because he love our people and stuff. So please, make sure you show some respect to that. And shout out to Alonzo Hall last night too. And that was a powerful live that we did last night. So I want y'all to go check that out. So shout out to you, brother Alonzo Hall. And again, brother Rob, whatever question you want to ask me, you can. You go to make a difference. But there is one question to ask you. I know you're into sports, right?
Yes, sir.
And what's your favorite team?
Oh, man, I mean, I know this is gonna sound crazy because we've been losing. Man, my favorite team is the Bears, though, man. The Chicago Bears. That's my favorite team, dog.
Chicago.
And then a close second. I know I'm a South Sider, but man, I love the Chicago Cubs, man. That's my second
Wow.
favorite team. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. I was a football kid and a baseball kid when I was young. And then the Michael Jordan effect, you know what I'm saying? The way like everybody stopped playing football, baseball, and all of that. And in Chicago, that's all we played was basketball. You know what I'm saying? And so, my third favorite team, and I mean, of course, it's the Bulls. You know what I'm saying? Unreal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a Chicago kid, Joe. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Chicago kid. You know.
So basically, you're like me. I'm a New York. You're a Chicago kid. I'm a New York kid.
Yeah.
All right, that's good. And what's your favorite player of basketball?
You talk about right now?
Whoever. Time.
Well, man, dude, right now, like playing right now, active, bro. I love watching Kyrie play, man. I love watching that dude play. I feel like that dude is just a man, dude. He a throwback, bro. He remind me of a cat that I used to have to hoop against a little bit, but his name was Keith Johnson, man. He played here in Chicago, and the man was so super cold. He was a lefty. The man was so super cold that nobody could guard him, bro. And that's who Kyrie remind me of, the way that he moved out there. And so I love watching Kyrie play. But my favorite player of all time across any sport is Michael Jordan, dog. Michael Jeffrey Jordan. The mob was unbelievable. And I mean, I know people be, LeBron is, man, listen, man.
And I ain't waiting LeBron.
It ain't even, to me,
this
is just my personal opinion. It's not even close, dog. When Mike was playing, dude, if that man had 20 points going into the third quarter, you know he about to score at least 10. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was a monster, dog. A monster. I love Michael Jeffrey Jordan. He dominated his sport more so than anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, the only other person that you could compare to across sports would be Bob Gibson. You know what I'm saying? But, like, man, he dominated, and I just feel like, it can't even be compared. You know what I'm saying? The only reason I bring up Bob, nigga, they changed the pitching now because of Bob Gibson. You know what I'm saying?
They have to lower. A lot of people don't know they have to lower the mound.
Exactly, because Bob Gibson, that's how dominant he was. That's how dominant he was, dog. It was called the Gibson rule for people who don't know.
And he had two pitches, the fastball and the slider.
Yes.
That's all he had.
Nobody can hit it.
Nobody was hitting that.
He dominated baseball for like 7-8 years.
Straight.
Nobody could stop him. And like, to me, you know what I'm saying? It's just utter domination. Like, Mike Tyson was coming close to that. You know what I'm saying? But nobody dominated their sport more than Michael Jordan and Bob Gibson.
But as a one person, I said came a little closer to Tiger Woods, and he would not get in that mess. You know what I'm talking about. He was close to it.
Yeah.
But he was close to that in modern time. That's all right. Yeah. Now, what you think? What you think about sports right now?
Um,
Oh, no, I mean, hold on that question. Sonny got a question. Do you feel gun control is helping Chicago or hurting?
man, for a number of years, we had the toughest gun laws in the country, right? To where like you couldn't own we didn't have conceal and carry and all of that, FOID cards and all of that. And so I it don't matter what laws they pass. I mean, right now the proliferation of guns, everybody got a gun, fam. Grandma got a gun. Shit, everybody got a gun. So really, what it come down to is the user, and then your intentions. I don't mind people owning guns, right? But man, at the same time, we got a lot of people out here that are, unstable mentally, socially, socially awkward, and they got a gun. So
Wow.
I don't know if gun control help us. It can't hurt us no worse. You know what I'm saying? Because we right next to Indiana, we right next to Iowa, right? Where people could drive down to Iowa, buy some guns, bring them back to Chicago, drive to Mississippi, buy some guns, bring them back to Chicago. So they can pass all the gun laws they want. But until people just got a general sense of humanity among each other, shit, it don't matter what law they pass. You know what I'm saying? People got to have some common sense. I'm happy that the homicides went down last year a little bit, and I hope that trend continue. You know, I hope it
Yeah.
continue.
Yeah. That's it. So, what you think about the sports, Chicago sports of today?
Oh, uh, well, right now I'm of course I'm excited about our Bears. We got Justin Fields, and then we got a
Okay.
lot of cap space, and we got a lot of draft picks. So y'all hearing it here first. The Chicago Bears gonna make a major turnaround, and they gonna be a team to be dealt with for years to come after the start of next year. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the Bears are definitely on the uptick. You know what I'm saying? We tanked this year. You know, uh, but that was for a purpose and a reason. So I trust our general manager, you know what I'm saying, young black dude. I hope he continue to do, what he doing. And I'm really looking forward to the Bears next year. Same thing with the
Okay.
Cubs. They
Cool.
Yeah, they made some major moves this off season, so I'm hoping that my Cubs can be a little bit better. We still need some pitching, and so I just don't think we gonna be as
Yeah.
competitive as we could without pitching, you know. And then the Bulls,
Gotcha.
man, bro, they so inconsistent. Like they'll beat New Jersey, but then they'll lose to shit. You know what I'm saying? Some whack ass team. It's just out, man, dog.
Yeah.
I don't know if they gonna blow it up. They probably will. You know what I'm saying? Because it just seemed like we just can't put everything together with my Bulls and everything. And then it's not that I hate the White Sox. I don't hate the White Sox, but I am a Cubs fan, so I don't really know what the White Sox did. But you know, just to speak on it, man, the young man who had cardiac arrest, that played for the Denver Broncos.
No, no,
Man,
no.
my
Buffalo,
my
Buffalo
yeah,
Bills.
my prayers to him and his family, man. I hope he make a full and speedy recovery. The state of sports, I feel like it's strong. People still look at sports, and that's primarily what a lot of people talk about. And so I feel like the state of sports in general is strong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another question from Coco Tina. She said, "How long did it take you to know that teaching was your calling?" Great
Ooh,
question.
ooh, that was a really good
That
question.
was a great question.
Um, Man, hey, let me just say to you out loud, right? That I was in the business world. I was in the professional world, and left the professional world and got into mentoring and coaching. And man, after a couple of months, I fell in love with it. And so that was like '05, '06. So it was right away. Once I started working in the school and like seeing the impact that I was having, and then I had some success as a coach. Oh man, I fell in love with it. Fell in love with it. As you can see, I talk a lot. You know what I'm saying? So just me being a talker, that definitely helps me in my profession. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm in order to be a good talker, you got to be a good listener. And so I feel like that is my ace card, if you will. I literally listen to what the kids are saying, and so that way I'm able to respond to them in a positive way, in an impactful way, in an inspirational way, you know. And then sometimes, I gotta have some patience because everybody kids don't act right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Some of y'all kids bad as hell. You know what I'm saying? On the real.
Got you.
Some motherfuckers bad, fam.
It's bad. Yeah. Sonny got a question.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
said,
yeah.
Brother Rob, do you have any bars for us today?
Oh man, I always got some bars, man. Stop playing, Sonny. I always got bars. Stop playing, man. I ain't about to spit right now, this second, but I always got some bars, fool. What's wrong with this man? I'm an MC, bro. I'm an MC. Stop playing. I always got some bars.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, there's a question I want to ask. Politics. Why it's so important that us as the people to be in politics of all levels?
Yes, sir. Man, very good question, brother. Politics is the business of spending our tax money. Let me
Mm.
say that one more time. Politics is the business of spending your tax money. That being said, right? Um, if you are not involved in the decision making of the money and how it's gonna be chopped up, who gonna get it, who gonna win, who gonna lose, if you're not involved in the process, then guess what you have set yourself up to do?
Mm-hmm.
Not get nothing.
Right.
Not get nothing. And so I encourage anybody that's listening, get involved in your local politics. Get involved in your state politics. At least know what the hell going on, right? And then on the federal level, look at what's going on today.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me say this, brother. And I'm going back with me and brother Rob was talking in the past, so some of it I'm not going to bring it up again. And I say for me, right, that you gotta be within the process. Right, I understand that, but some of us as a people has been with the process, right, had done it the right way, and we vote people for our itch. Matter of fact, I would say this: some of us as a people, we vote for our individual interests instead of the interests of the whole. And I feel the politicians play on that too. I give you this, if you don't vote on this, and that disturbs me. And so when you have a system that constantly is not working, if you put in the work and everything, I can't blame some of our people. It's frustrated.
Yeah. Look, right? This is the truth, right? Once we got somebody in office, right? the first thing people say is that they coons and that they sellouts, and you know that the only reason they there is because they listening to the man.
Right.
We don't understand. I would say that uh, we have a parochial understanding of politics, black folks in general. Um, politics is not what you see on TV. It's
Right.
what you see. It's the getting that pothole filled. That's
Right.
politics. Getting the funding to your schools. That's politics. You see, so uh, we have to have a better understanding of politics, number one. And then number two, the people who are involved in politics understand that when they get on TV, they can't say black power, everybody. They can't say no, they can't say that. They can't get on there on TV and be like, well, yeah, all these white motherfuckers in Washington, D.C., man, they bogus as hell. Yeah, they can't get on TV and say that. We have to have a better understanding of politics, G.
I appreciate that. I appreciate it. And I noticed throughout the years they are taking sports programs out elementary school, junior high schools, and high schools. And why do you think they doing that, brother?
Uh, well, it's funny that we talking about politics and then you ask me that question because politically speaking, they are still doing the same things that they've been doing, and that is underfunding our schools and then call our kids criminals. That's coming out. You underfunded him, you undereducated him. He can't go out and find a job, right? And then he make a couple of bad decisions, and now you want to label him a criminal. You see, and so sports, right? If a student is involved in sports, right? All my young men that's on my basketball team, bruh, listen, I have they ass so tired after practice, bro. All they can do is go home and hopefully got enough strength to eat and go to sleep. That's all. You ain't about to be doing no dumb shit after you left my practice, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Man, sports keep kids busy. It keep them accountable, right? And so if you don't have the funding to run a sports program, of course you have to eliminate it. So that's the simple answer. It's funding. You know what I'm saying? But the larger picture to it is if kids not doing nothing, what the hell you think they gonna be doing?
that's all right. That's all right. Um, what do you see the history of our kids?
My fault. Say, ask the question one more time.
Ask the question one more time.
Yeah. I didn't hear the question.
The question is, what do you think about the our history in the schools?
Uh, um, if you're talking about um, the way that we teach history in the schools, is that what you said?
No, what I'm saying is this: that besides you, right? I found it throughout the years that as more schools is taking out Black history and our kids is misinformed. Do you ever think that that's going to come back? That our curriculum is going to come back to our schools?
Well, we gotta understand, like the black studies, it's not even taught on a collegiate level in a revolutionary way, and so I would just say that if we trying to teach our kids history in the schools, what we got to start with is why. You got to get them intellectually curious enough to ask, why is it, why is this, why is that? You know what I'm saying? What up, man? All right, thank you, bro. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
yeah.
one of the guys. He just coming to speak to me. That's all.
That's a yeah. Coco Team said, keep your children busy and their minds occupied, they won't have this time to do nothing else.
There it is. That is the key to sports programs, right? Number one, you're gonna have them physically strong, right? Then they have to learn to come back from failure. This is important. That is a life lesson that is very difficult to teach if somebody is not involved in sports. Imagine, right? Trying to teach a kid to come back from failure, but they a straight A student. How
Right.
do you teach a straight A students how to come back from failure? They've never failed.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean? But if you put them in sports, even if they're a home run hitter, right? They go up to the plate, they hit it to the second baseman, they go get out. Teaching a kid how to come back from failure, to me, is the most important lesson that you can learn in sports.
Gotcha. I got another question for you. Like I said, brother Rob, you got a question to ask me? Ask.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Um, why is so important the black man and the black woman relationship is important of these times?
Oh man. Well, I just say that, the simple answer is you can't build a black community without black men and black women being together. You see what I mean? Like, you know, it, it you know, you start from the beginning. And so the beginning is a black man, a black woman having respect for each other. You can get into a black relationship and then eventually have a black child. And then y'all together raise that black child. Now you got a strong black family. That black family, if you got a bunch of them, you can have a strong black community. That black community can then go out and organize and make sure that resources are being delivered to said community, and so on and so forth. So it is the building block. You know what I'm saying? It is the cornerstone of the liberation struggle, if you ask me. That is why the gender war, in my opinion, is so devastating. You know what I'm saying? Because it gives people reasons for black women and black men not to be together.
Mm, that's all right. Another question is, um, do you feel that's important when you teach Pan African? You show them the other side too.
Man, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Now that we got all these different tools, like, man, JT, you can remember when we were shorties, right? Somebody telling you that your ancestors was from Africa, you can only imagine it. But
Mm-hmm.
now with science and with DNA tracing and all of these different things, you can now see where some of your ancestors might have came from. Me, I'm very blessed. I'm very lucky to be able to trace my ancestors from all the way from the continent. You know what I'm saying? Because my family, they took very detailed records. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I'm able to trace my family lineage from literally from across the pond. You know what I'm saying? But um what we got to understand, our children already have an idea of what Africans are, and those are people that's in the bush running around with no shoes on, and you see what I mean. So what I try to do is I try to teach them about stuff that they probably didn't know, the three great empires that existed in the Western Hemisphere, Africa. You know what I'm saying? uh, uh Ghana, Songhai, and Mali, and I don't just teach about Kemet, you know what I'm saying? I teach them about knot culture, you know what I'm saying? I teach them about Manapatapa, all of these different, even before the Woman King came out, I was teaching about the Oyo. I was teaching about Dayoni. You know what I'm saying? So they got a very clear idea of who Africans were before they even knew what a white man looked like. You see what I mean? So that's the key, And then the second thing, they get to see the the struggle that other black folks are going through around the world that we go through, but it's not unique to America. You know what I'm saying? So it's easier to expose white supremacy when you teach Pan African thought.
Wow. That's all right. Let's see. Let's see. Coco T. She said, what is your take on the new use of pronouns for the people identity? Great question.
Man, man, sis, I'm gonna be a little rough, right? Here's the truth, right? When you come into my classroom, I visually identify you and I call everybody by their last name. So here it is, right? You come into my class, Miss Coco, and that's what your name is gonna be. And you don't tell me, I tell you. See what I mean? Like like kids gotta understand. Well, they don't have to understand. That's how it's gonna be in my class. I tell you, and you don't tell me. So that's number one. Then number two, once I visually see you, right? You're not invisible. Once I visually see you, you don't tell me how to refer to you. So you gonna be Miss Coco or you gonna be Mr. Sunny Boxing Talk. That's your name. And that is
Right.
what I refer to you as. And you ain't gonna tell me about no goddamn pronouns. Period.
All right. Sonny Boston said African accessory is a good one, but it's a little expensive. But they go into the tribes.
No doubt. My oldest, the oldest elder in our family, we had her do it, right? And it came back the same way with me and with my mom and everybody. So we know that the information that we have. So man, let you don't mind, JT. I'll just break it down real quick, right?
Got it.
My earliest ancestor on record, right? Literally is on a they have manifest for the boats, right? They come
Right.
over here. So my ancestor came over here a free man, but then got snatched into slavery like 12 years a slave, Solomon Northup, right? And he ended up getting snatched into slavery in South Carolina. I'm sorry, in Virginia, right? Married a woman. That woman ended up moving to South Carolina. South Carolina, then you got the whole lineage that makes up my grandmother's side. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That come out of South Carolina. So we know that my earliest ancestor, the progenitor of my family, that man came from the Senegambia area in Africa. We know that for a fact.
Yeah.
You know. But shout
All
out
right.
to Rick Kittles, man. I use ancestry.com and I use African Ancestry for my DNA. So we got both. We got the names and we got the DNA.
That's all right. That's all right. Let's see. Coco T says there's a specific country in Africa that is a must see or we should know
Should know
more
about.
about.
Yeah.
Good question.
To the truth be told, most of our ancestors come either from Central Africa or Western Africa, right?
Yeah.
And so you know, any must sees. I haven't been to the continent to be able to say with certainty, right? What we must see and things of that nature, because I haven't laid eyes on it myself, but just doing, research on the continent, it's quite a few areas that I'm, super, super interested in seeing. Saying like I want to see the University of Saint Corey. I want to see it up close. I want to see it. I want to see Timbuktu. I want to see it. I heard you can kick it in Nairobi. You know what I'm saying? I want to see what the nightlife is like in Nairobi. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
And
I
then
do.
of course I want to go see Kemet. You know what I'm saying? I wanna see the pyramids, and I want to visit the temples. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of areas in Africa that I want to see. You know what I'm saying? But as in terms of a must see, I got to get over there to see it myself to be able to say, "Oh, you gotta go see it." You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I say. I mean, man, we are definitely planning the trip in 2 years. Me and my wifey, we going to Nigeria, and
Oh, okay.
yeah, and we supposed to be going to Nigeria to Lagos, and then we supposed to be going to Ghana. But I don't know when we planning on going to Ghana. But I know Nigeria is our first stop.
Well, me and the miss when we first talked, this before we got in a relationship, she asked me, do you ever dream about going to Africa? I said, yeah, I dream about going to Africa. Said where? I said wherever it leads me. Um, for me, it's gonna be emotional because like you, I'm into history. I'm always into our culture, so I think that it's gonna it will affect me. And but I want to ask you this question before I continue. This is the question: why some Africans in this country, still feel that we're not part of the origin of Africa?
Um, you know, we got to understand Africa is a continent. It is a
Right.
continent. It got 50 plus countries in it, and there are a lot of different tribes, a lot of different cultures that exist in Africa. You know what I'm saying? And so, because of that, it is tribalism. You know, and somebody from Chad, say for instance, you know, I mean, they know that you probably ain't never gonna visit Chad. They know that.
Right.
They know that you probably don't have any respect for the history of Chad and all of this type of stuff. So in their mind, they like, man, well, I'm from Chad. I'm a real African. You just an African American. This is just it's kind of egotistical, in one sense, but then in another sense, it is true. You know what I'm saying? So people go feel how they want to feel. Some people are just subject to propaganda, and they had never feel a kingship with us because they have been taught wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I asked that question because the years that I born and raised in New York, it was one lady I got an argument with, and she called me the N word, and I'm saying, why you call me the N word? You don't work for nothing, and you don't do. I said, do you understand that people come from Africa with slaves, that we built this country literally, and so it reminds me, and I'm not talking about all. I'm not talking about all. There are some feel entitlement, but at the same time, they still disrespecting our contributions to this country. And how do you feel about that? Do I have a right to feel that way? I mean, I ain't because I have a right, but because it happened to me. But why is still these hatred for African descent of this country?
Yeah. Man, the truth be told, right? The truth be told, a lot of people, not outside of just everyday Americans. You got to imagine what the idea of what they think African American life is like. The image of black people is like in their mind before they
Right.
meet us. And
Uh-huh.
so I would say that they are victims of propaganda. Like if you from an African country, and the only thing you done ever seen that dealing with African Americans is menace to society, well, shit, you gonna have a negative opinion of African Americans. You see what I'm saying? You know, at the end of the day, propaganda is a weapon. is a very effective weapon. You know.
I hear you.
You know.
I hear you, brother Ron. But let me get this out. Welcome to my channel, The Underrated Darkness. Yours truly, the number one grinder. One of the best kept secrets on YouTube. We got the one and only good brother Rob, the educator for our community, even in the space. He is chopping up with me on the Darkness Round Table. And if there's any question that you want to ask me, feel free and everything else. But the people got some more questions. Oh, let me read this first before we continue. Sonny said, your own research is the best thing to do because even in Kermit, there are some places that are pure trash because the people there are not the same people who were there and they don't respect what's left. Some parts had trash everywhere, so important. Even if you go to Kemet to pick the right spot, that's where you have to get a good travel agent. Well, I hear that. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. But there's another question. Let me ask you this question: is it very important that Africa and our brothers and sisters in Africa and brothers and sisters in this country that African descent, is it much more important now that we need to stay together and build unite?
I mean, that's a multifaceted question. You know what I'm saying? It's a step-by-step question, right? So I would say, you know,
Okay.
the first thing is we have to realize that we are tribe unto ourselves now that we are here in America and that we don't have the attachment to Africa as we once did, right? So we are a tribe unto ourselves, if you will, right? So we gotta become united so that we can do international business. Is it
Mhm.
important? Is it important that we connect with the brothers and sisters in Africa? Of course, it's important, but I would say the first step is for us over here, you know, African Americans, us 40 million plus, to you know, have a sense of community among ourselves so that we can create some mechanisms to be able to do business in Africa. You know the best coffee come out of Africa.
Right.
You know the best cocoa, right? The best
Yeah.
chocolate. It come out of Africa. You know, you hey, your cell phone, this laptop, it ain't gonna work without Africa. You see? And so, of course, our connection over there, you know, it would start as business, you know, but then hopefully it can grow into something else. You know what I'm saying? And become mutually beneficial. You know, I just think that we should have something to offer uh going over there instead of going over there with a handout. You know what I'm saying? Hey, how can you help me? You know what I'm saying? How can we help each other? No, let's come with something in hand, and then them as well. They got something in hand, and then we can work together from there. But it's a I would say it's a step-by-step process. The first thing we got to do is get, you know, a little bit united over here.
Yeah. I would say this, brother Rob. If you remember, I did a story about a brother. He was a prime minister of Zimbabwe, and he was he impressed. Oh, his name. Oh my God. He passed away in 90. He passed away in 97. And then he was one of the first prime minister of Africa that he was part of the United Nations, and he was one of the first brothers that have land for us to be connected. Because for him, it was very important that he wanted us to be connected to Africa and stuff like that. And I did a story about him too. You was right there. He passed away, and I'm gonna look it up too. But and then there's another person. I forgot what country it was. Right now, he also have land for us as African descent in this country, and he said that hey, I know there are some said they don't want you here, but a lot of us want you here. This is your home, and I think that, but what you saying and what I'm saying, it has to connect because I believe there are quite a few African. I believe quite a few brothers in Africa want us to come home, and I believe they know the conditions that we deal with and stuff. But you know how the media act. They don't want us to be part of that. So you are absolutely right. But also there are brothers and sisters in Africa want us to come home. They said they want us to come home. So I feel that it's a gradual process, like you saying. Yeah, that's a gradual process. Um, so beautiful demonstration. Yes, I agree. And so we should embrace Africa, and I would say this firmly. And Africa have to understand the our existence, and plus the contributions that we made in this country, and also the injustices of this evil system, global evil system. They have to understand that. So it has to be connected. It has to be understanding and stuff. And I believe that I don't think it's going to happen in our lifetime, but I believe it's a step.
Agreed. I believe so. I think at the end of the day, right? White supremacy, we are watching the fall of it.
Mhm.
We literally watching how they are fighting this out in front of us, and
Yeah.
we so focused on menial things that we don't see the greater picture. You know, but I mean, white supremacy is falling in front of us. You know what I'm saying? We got a ways to go, but I would say that the grip that white supremacy has had on our understanding of Africa and our understanding of ourselves is loosening. But at the same time, if we go educate ourselves, we got to educate ourselves the right way. At the end of the day, they in a country by themselves, we in the country over here, and you know it don't make no sense with both of us getting together with nothing. We gotta have something to offer each other, you know what I'm saying? And I mean
Right. Yeah.
that's the main point, you know what I'm saying? Have something to offer each other, and then it becomes a beautiful relationship, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, and also, and let's understand this too. There are some African nations has been established back in the late 50s and early 60s, and also they also fight for liberation of our people over here too, like Patrice Lumumba, and
No doubt.
and other ones.
And in
So we
Cuba,
so
and yeah,
so
yeah,
so we so we have to get back doing that. And then also, but I would like for you to talk about that one day, because I did talk about it a few years ago, and people was looking at me like I'm stupid. I said, y'all don't know police Patrice Lumumba? And then
man.
oh no, he's Africa. I said no, so we need to pay homage to the ones that, even the ones in Africa, to even fight for the liberation of us as African descent in this side to that diaspora, and I think that's very very important. I think that needs to be talked about more too. I think us as adults need some classroom work too.
Man, hey, I was thinking, my principal, he liked my class so much, right? That he was hoping that he can make it go live. We can't do that, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I literally was telling them that that was one of the people that we was gonna learn about when we start going over the people that kind of was the foundational thought behind Pan Africanism, and then modern day Pan Africanism.
Uh-huh.
And Patrice Lumumba, Nkrumah, Thomas Sankore,
Hmm.
all of these different people are people that our kids need to know about. You are
Right.
absolutely correct.
We need that. We need that. We need that too. And I'm just saying, I'm having so much fun over here, y'all. Y'all don't know, you know. And we touched on a lot of stuff and everything. But I do want to ask you this question. Just because I want to ask you,
All good.
what's the status of our people in this country right now, in this administration?
Um,
Give us your access to it.
yeah, I would say that we are in a really good position to do some major things. Look, right, this is just the truth, and it didn't get reported as much because of the George Floyd situation and everything. The year that George Floyd happened, right, 2020,
Mhm.
that was the first year of note where we had more black men in college than we did in prison. This is the first time. You know what I'm saying? It was the first time. And in my mind, I feel like we we are in a position to where we can really do some things if we will only work on each other, work with each other, right? We got everything we need but each other. You know what I'm saying? We are the greatest educated generation of African Americans ever in the history of this country. It's more degrees in the African American community than ever before, ever. And so, with that being said, right, all we have to do is put it together. Again, we got everything we need but each other.
Uh huh.
And so with that being said, man, we can win. We just gotta keep doing the work, and we gotta educate our kids so that they will produce the solutions that we need in our community. There you go. That's my part. I'm trying to educate them so that we can produce the solutions that we need.
That's
And
what's
so,
up.
yeah, that's where we at.
That's what's up. Let me read this Facebook use. I don't know who he or she is. It said Rob certainly respond with an open mind, heart, very knowledgeable in your questions, and speak freely, speak the truth. My former college roommate is from Zimbabwe, lives for education. And you know the name I was thinking about? Mugambi.
Oh yes. Oh yes, another freedom fighter. And man, I
That,
man,
that,
I love the way that he embraced his culture and didn't care if other people didn't like it.
right. That's
I
the one I
love,
was talking. That's the one I was talking about, brother Rob.
yeah, hey, that man there, hey man,
Mm.
was a gangster. He
Yeah,
reminded me of Stephen Biko, you know what I'm saying? A
yeah.
gangster, bro. Hey,
And
we gon'
and I'm gonna
we gonna
tell
be
people.
free over here.
Yeah, let
Yeah.
me tell you something. Yeah, and I'm gonna tell people this too. Y'all should go pull up. Do you know this man talk over 20 different languages? They are some people say that he's one of the smartest people in the world. In the world, people. And I'm gonna tell you, he had historical speeches, heated speeches in United Nations. Y'all should pull it up. You should pull it up. It would bring chills to you. It would bring children. The way how he fought for us, he said no, and then, this is the guy. He was under scrutiny. They put him in. This is a few times when he was a prime minister or president in Zimbabwe. They're trying to make him exile, and he always come back to fight for us and everything. And I did a story about that. I'm gonna tell y'all, it's deep in this channel, very deep. And so I'm gonna look for that, and I'm gonna preview it too, so people understand that. Any questions in the chat? Please put it in. Please put it in. And any questions you want to ask me, brother? You keep going.
Yeah, man. When you was at the African American Museum in DC, man, what part of that exhibit do you feel like I should definitely take a look at?
That's a good question. I don't know, right? but it's hard. Let me think. Let me think. I think you should take a look at it science.
Uh, all right, science. Okay.
Look at the science and look at the piece. I would say the slavery part. That's like damn. That's like the last because they start. You have they have you start from the top. You work your way down,
Okay.
and I think you go the last. Um, that's the most emotional part. It really was. When I was with the miss, she sometimes she had to hold my hand, and I hold hers and stuff.
Uh,
And so yeah, I'm just saying that when you see other people don't look like us, it's like it brings a chill. Like whoa, like they had this certain look that I never thought. And then in some of the history, I'm letting you know right now is blatant. I'm just letting you know right now. So I would say this: all due respect, people. That is, I know people want. Please don't take it in a certain way. If you have young kids, that is not the place for them. I said between like 12 or 13. I think that's a pretty good age. But if they young, that they because that's not a good place for them. No.
mhm.
But if you have something to teach them, little by little, yes. Now when they get older, yes. But for little kids, no.
Mhm.
Because you're little, you just want to run anyway. But science, I said I say you should look at labor too.
Man, I'm excited to see the exhibit, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited to
I'm
see
telling
it.
you,
I
it's something.
Yeah, I started listening. Then once you got into the details, I'm like, nope, nope, nope. I gotta go. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't wanna spoil it. I wanted it to be a surprise to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What happened was me and my wifey, we was in New Orleans, and we was waiting outside of this restaurant. I cannot remember the restaurant, but it was three young ladies, Oceana. We was waiting outside Oceana about to get in. All us had reservations, but they always packed. So, we talking to the people in line, and they was from DC, and they was telling us, "Oh man, you got to see the African American Museum there, and man, get reservations, and oh man, it's gonna blow your mind." And they was going on and on and on about it, and so that's what made me and my wifey plan a trip to DC. You know what I'm saying? And so by you already seeing the exhibit, that's what's prompting the questions. But at the same time, I want to be like, blew away when I go in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm saying like it's good because that's what it was me. Because the miss she been there like about once or two or three times, and I said no, don't tell me. And
Yeah.
I want to know myself. But I've been there. Like I said about three times.
Okay.
And each time is always something new, and it's beautiful there because they even have like people selling shirts that looks like us and
Yeah.
everything, and it's a bit it'd be like you could feel it's us, and I
Yeah.
think it's very very important and stuff like that. So I tell anybody, please. If you have, I know again. Oh, let me say. Oh, yeah, there's something there. But then somebody have a question for you. They said, do your children like history as much as you do?
Probably not. The reason why is because I'm always I'm always talking about it, and I'm sure that they probably getting tired of hearing about it. You know what I'm saying? And so
Right.
but I mean, they got ammunition. That's what I call it. When they look at my library, if they ever get intellectually curious enough, I got a book on whatever it is, that you want to learn about, you know what I'm saying, in terms of Black history. Like if you want to learn about blacks in science, you know what I'm saying, I got Dr. Ivan Van Sertima over there. You know what I'm saying? You want to learn about Reconstruction, I got W.E.B. Du Bois over there. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? You want to learn anything that you want to know about Black history, you know what I'm saying? Contemporaries as well. You know what I'm saying? I got the new Jim Crow, Michelle Alexander, and
Oh, that's the book to read, y'all.
yeah, I got you know, other people that I respect, the Dr. Anthony Martin, Race First. I think that's a really good book that everybody should take a look
Yes.
at. You know what I'm saying? He got primary and secondary sources in there that kind of explains the Garvey movement, and you know, the foundations of the thought that Garvey had coming to America. All these
Mhm.
things are important, y'all. You know, in my opinion. In my opinion.
Yeah, and also too, if we go back to politics, and you know, Malcolm, we go to the next. Is Malcolm X? His beliefs is his father was his late father was a Garveyite,
No doubt. No doubt.
and so people say, "Oh, he's Garvey." No, they live it. They know this is the truth and stuff. And Malcolm X. So I'm gonna tell you what I believe. I believe that Malcolm X had always had a Garveyite in him. But he was into his thing, and then he got cleaned up Nation of Islam, and he went to the Mecca and stuff. And as we know, and he come back and find out, you know, well, Muslims is different colors, but at the same time, he had when he was saying, I'm gonna say, ask for you a question, your accessory of it, and what I'm saying right now. When he said that he going to United Nations and tell them that you had crimes of us of African descent in this country. I said for me, it was like it seems like it was a Marcus Garvey was talking.
I would tend to agree with you. The reason why, uh, you know, a lot of people don't know this, but Malcolm X used to go to the master teacher John Henry Clark for advice on political
Mm-hmm.
thought and things of that nature. And I'm sure that you know, Dr. Clark, I'm just imagining, I'm not sure,
Right.
that Dr. Clark definitely had Garvey's influence in his political thought as he was advising our good brother Malcolm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that is another scholar you need to read up on.
John Henry Clark.
John Henry Clark, one of our international gems. I'm talking about this man. Whew, to learn about him, it's gonna take you years.
Yeah. Man,
Years.
listen, it's a really good documentary that Wesley Snipes had did on John Henry Clark. It's called A Long and Mighty Walk. And you watch that documentary, not only are you gonna learn about Dr. Clark, but you gonna also learn some black history.
Yeah.
You know, so man, I encourage everybody, take a look at that documentary, A Long and Mighty Walk. It's on YouTube. You can watch it for free.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the name of it again?
A Long and Mighty Walk. Let me make sure I'm saying that right. Let me make
Oh
sure I'm
wow,
saying.
y'all. Hey, yeah, but big good brother Rock dropped some gems, y'all.
Hey
Take it
man,
down.
I told you, bro. I in my mind, I feel like I gotta source up. Yeah, that's what it's called. A Long and Mighty Walk. I'm about to post a link for it. Is that cool?
Yeah, do it.
All right.
And
Yeah, I'm
then
about
if
to
then
post it.
if then if you want to, you can send it to my email. So I want to pull it up and read it too. So,
All right. But
but
yeah,
yeah. If anybody don't have no more questions, we're gonna close this out in a few minutes. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you. So anybody want to look that up, please look that up. It's very essential that you're doing that. Very essential and stuff to do that. Yeah. Anybody that is new in the chat, I hope that you subscribe. And matter of fact, brother Rob, let me see. I gotta. I'm gonna go and post before we get out of here. I'm gonna go post his channel into a chat, y'all, so y'all can follow him.
Yeah, I see you, JT. Hey, all the time, bro. Hey, for y'all this how long I've been messing with my good brother, the grinder, the number one grinder. I was here for the show when he got his first 1,000 subscribers, y'all.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I was here for the show. Super proud of the growth that you had since I've been gone, man.
I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate even before them. But see, and let me tell you this though. Rob, when I got my thought, Rob knew me 2.5 years before that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah, dang. Hey man, we getting old men out here, boy.
yeah, man. Yeah, man. Rob, man, you making me old already, man.
Yeah, man. No, man, I ain't getting old. I'm getting better.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
I recently had a birthday, man. Monday was my birthday.
Oh, congrats, man. Congrats, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Yeah. Congrats, man. Yeah. But I'm gonna post your channel in the chat. So I want you to go follow him and everything. How old are you, man? 26?
Yeah, I'm 26.
Gotcha. There you go.
No, I ain't no 26, bro.
Yeah. But I'm saying,
I'd have been around the sun a couple more times than that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say my exact age, but
no, don't say.
yeah. But I'm older than 26. There you go.
yeah, 26. Yeah, I already post your channel in the chat.
Yeah.
So people can hit that and everything. If there's any more questions, you can make your last remarks and you stay right there, and then we're gonna close it out. I'm gonna close it out.
Okay. Well, in closing, I just say, about myself is what you see is what you get, man. I'm really humble about what it is that I have researched and what I've come to find true about the Black community. I'm passionate about the work that I do in our community. You know, I uh, I love our people. You know what I'm saying? I love our people. And so when I say I love our people, that means when you say you love somebody, you love them beyond their faults. I love, my kids don't listen to every word that I say. They don't do everything that I want them to do when I want them to do it, right? But I still love my children to no end. And it's the same relationship that I have with Black folk. I love Black folks to no end. I don't like everything that we be doing and saying on here. I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? But I respect you enough to where, I think that, in time, right, you might can turn around and become some use to our community, you know? And then with that being said, I see the value in our people. I see the value in it, in us. And that's why I work so hard with our young people. I'm trying to save them, I'm trying to empower them. And I'm hoping that one day, through my example, that they just become better people, better people, better than they imagine. You know what I'm saying? It's a song that called Better Than I Imagine. Her and Robert Glasper. That it popped in my mind when I said it. Better than I imagine. Hey, that the song a jam. But anyway, I appreciate you having me up tonight, man. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have missed it for the world. You know what I'm saying? I don't even feel my best. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you can tell I'm all congested and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, talking out my nose. You know what I'm saying? but
Yeah,
I wouldn't have missed it for the world, man. I love you, brother. I hope that
love you too.
yeah, I hope that your channel keep growing. I hope that we can find some common ground to where we can keep building. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And I'm going to forever be, in support of you, brother. So I
I appreciate
appreciate
that.
you, man. And everybody that tuned in and listen, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. And man, I'm a be in the clouds, G.
All right, yo, one more thing.
Yes, sir.
Sonny said he spoke to Brother Rob. Are you familiar with Dr. Dana Maricha Randalls?
Reynolds, Dana Reynolds. Not exactly. Is it a book or is it like something that they doing or promoting in the community? I'm not familiar with the name, but I might be familiar with the book, or I might be familiar with the train of thought that Dr. Reynolds is involved in. You know,
Okay. All right. I'm gonna say my last thing. Has been great. It seems like we went back to old times, and I'm happy that we had this chop up. I'm happy that you helped sharpen my mind, my brother, and I appreciate that. I know people. I know besides not Sonny, I'm talking about the rest of y'all. Know y'all heard some things y'all ain't know, but I always have it in me. I just don't have to say it and everything. But I with Rob, we got to find a way to mobilize as a people. We got to find a way, and it's good that Brother Rob is optimistic, and I'm happy with that. But at a certain time, I'm not. But I'm trying. But we have to, because a lot our ancestors had gave their life to stand up for what's right, and I don't want to disrespect them, and we don't want to disrespect our brother Rob right here because he's an educator. Also, brother Art Nostal, he is also an educator too, and we got to understand. We have to. Oh, let me read what studies. He says she is a scholar that written a piece in the book of the Golden Age of the Moors.
now I read that book, The Golden Age of the Moors, and that book is highly detailed in giving you the lineages and the influences of the caliphates. And that is very important to understand the importance of the Moors and their contribution to history. We got to understand it wasn't a dark age for everybody.
Right.
Right? It wasn't a dark age for everybody. And I feel bad that didn't remember Dr. Reynolds' name. But
Right.
yes, I've read the book. It got it's white and the letters are blue and yellow, if I remember correctly. And I read that book, the Golden Age of the Moors. Very detailed book. You know what I'm saying? It's a heavy read. That's for people who want to know. You know what I'm saying? Like if you just want to, some general information about the Moors. I mean, there's plenty of books on that. But the Golden Age of the Moors, I would say that's the definitive work on the lineage and the influences of all the caliphates.
Right. Got you. Got you. Okay. Well, I mean, that's good. Yeah. But on behalf of my channel, the underrated doctors, yours truly, the number one grinder. This is the last my good brother Rob chop it up with us on the darkest round table. And let's take this information that brother Rob has given us, these Jews, and let's mobilize. Matter of fact, start from yourself first, and also, I always said, pay attention to patterns. If it's a wicked pattern, don't follow it. But we got to go back to our ancestors. We got to tap in the information has given us. That's the only way it will make us better. And also, the black man and the black woman has to work things out together to keep us together as a family globally. This is very, very, very important. If there's something, if there's something that you get out of it, let's understand Ron love our people and just respect that. I respect that. Sonny respect that. Cocotino respect that. Everybody else respect that, I believe, in the chat. So, I'm gonna talk to Rob in the near future. Maybe we're gonna bring some of the conversation back that we had in the past. That's what I'm thinking about doing, brother Rob. I'm thinking about picking one of those underrated breakfast, underrated dinner, dessert live, and play some of it while you be on the panel. Sonny could be on the panel, and
Man,
let's talk.
we can do a book review of that book that Sonny just brought up. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that book it definitely give you yeah, that's what we could do. We could do a book review. You know what I'm saying? On the real. We
Yeah,
could
that's
do a
something
book
to think
review.
about. That's something to think about. So let me close this out. On behalf of my channel, The Underrated Darkness, yours truly, the number one grinder. And thanks again, good brother Rob. Again. Thank yeah, it is great stream. Yeah, you're right, said great stream. Thank you so much for blessing us with blessing us with your presence. Very much appreciated. And I could say this is another classic. But good morning. Stay well, stay blessed, and just understand black is beautiful. And to understand we are still part of the human race, no matter what they say. And we are trendsetters. Understand that. We are trendsetters. So off on that, good morning. Stay blessed, stay blessed, stay blessed. This one is Ghost.